Hey everybody, welcome to Shifty's Club. Yeah, I know it's been a little bit. I've had tryouts with the Braves again, Tampa Bay Devil Rays, just been practicing, and I also went back out to Vegas for like 12 hours and then came back. Um, anyway, I'm back, so I'm going to catch you guys up on a little bit of what's been going on. Of course, obviously I wanted to wait until about after or close to World Championships before I delivered a quality video for the trading card game because we're getting a new format. But I'll go all over all of that in the next video, which I'll be making almost directly after this one. Anyway, yes, there will be two videos to come out almost simultaneously. This one just basically covers everything but the trading card game. The next one covers the trading card game because I know there's more of you that are into the trading card game than that are not. So you guys can just, don't have to watch this unless you just absolutely love seeing my face or my Pika Bang or my huge Mega Plush Pikachu. I can't get Mega Snorlax into the picture, unfortunately. But anyway, what I'm going to go ahead and do is get pretty much everything except for the trading card game on here. Kind of try to speed through it, not take too much time like I'm doing right now. Anyway, we're going to start with the the facts. Yes, guys, I've been pitching for a while and I'm getting a lot better. Eventually, I switched to sidearm. I like it a lot, and some of you that know sports know that sidearm pitchers usually can get a higher miles per hour rating than those who throw over the top or a 3/4 arm slot high or low. And the reason why is because their ability to snap and bring their arm just comes closer to their body, and they get to keep all of that strength right there instead of further away from their body. They can keep it, the upper part of their arm, closer to their body, holding all that pressure and being able to just release it at a faster rate. So yeah, I went to pitching sidearm. It's done good for me now. I just got to nail accuracy down. Every time I throw a two-seam fastball, it looks like it's making a little cutting motion like that. Just a little bit of a curve, not much. And that's about it for baseball front. To keep it in sports, those of you who probably live in Oregon or those who are Oregon fans, you've probably heard people say over and over, and I'm not going to stress this, but you have heard them say over and over, oh yeah, I know who Vernon Adams Jr. is, before he even came to Oregon. And those of you who don't know, he transferred from Eastern Washington University to the University of Oregon for his senior year. There are people who said, yeah, I know who he was. Yeah, he was awesome. And I found two different people who are Oregon fans who said they did. So I tested them. Okay, what college did he come from? One of them could answer, the other one didn't. This is two different instances. And one's like, okay, yeah, Eastern Washington, I know. And I told them, okay, what number do you wear? They just assumed, and they're like, I'm like, no. Okay, so you didn't know who he was. The reason I did know who he was is if you watch one of their home games, you'll know exactly why. Look at the color of their turf. It is red. I'm a Georgia fan, and I'd love to see Georgia playing on red turf. I would pay part of that bill just to watch them play on red turf. That is amazing. And that's the only reason I ever liked to watch them play, was because of that. But that's actually how I got to know who he was, and every time I did watch him, I mean, he was amazing. I'm not going to overshoot his abilities or whatnot, but I believe that with the proper coaching, he has the ability to surpass, Dan Marino, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, guys like that. That's pretty hard to do. And to another point, remember what happened with Marcus Mariota. He wasn't even ranked nationally. No one even cared about him. Oregon coaches came to him and recruited him, literally. He had almost zero potential to a lot of these larger schools. They picked him up, they coached him. He becomes the number 2 pick in the draft. So I'm pretty sure that they know what they're doing with Vernon Adams Jr. because I've seen it and I'm sure they've seen the same thing. Want to get that point across to you guys because there's going to be a lot of people at your Oregon universities, bars, stuff like that. A lot of you live in that area. Kind of keep an eye on that. You can kind of quiz them. Anyway, we're going to get out of that subject. Magic the Gathering players. The Origin set has come out. It's been a while, but anyway, I've had enough time to go through the entire set. And I thought, it's not that great of a set, in my opinion. But there are a few good cards that I do like. There's especially one card, Artifact, that basically just creates red mana. I love it to death. There's not a lot, though. I just basically bought 4 of every card from the set. Because they have that sale online, and I'm not buying boxes if I don't have to. I mean, you guys know me. Especially when it comes to Magic. Okay. Now to the video game. Players. Let's see. I'm hoping that they've already changed the rules. I'm not exactly sure how this works. But from what I've known, as of January this year, there were rules changed where they used the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire games to compete, and they changed it from X and Y from 2014. If I'm not badly wrong, they had rules where you could only use Pokemon that you could catch within the game. I'm not too sure on that, but if that is so, and they can change it to all Pokemon, I believe it would be better for the game. And here's the reason why. Everybody knows about pretty much all the great Pokemon we have that can only be got in X and Y as far as those 2 game modules go. X and Y's got a lot of good Pokemon. Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire gives us a decent amount of Pokemon and then gives us all the legendaries that we missed. But I like how they brought back the Deoxys even though we can't use them in the tournament. But anyway, for you video game players, I have basically compiled kind of sort of a really good deal for the video game championship events. For those of you who are just wanting to go into the game, Battle Mason, stuff like that. Here is my preferred singles lineup from all my research and everything. I understand that they're using the 3 genies, I guess that's what they're called, I'm not exactly sure, which are all weak to what? Ice. So, basically I didn't forget to throw that in there. But anyway, here's your singles from my best picks. Your starter would be a Jolly Nature Darmanitan with an Assault Vest. And those of you who don't know what it does, basically raises your special defense, but you can't use status moves. But no one's going to use status moves when you have a Sheer Force Darmanitan that can learn Flare Blitz, Superpower, Earthquake, and Giga Impact. I mean, come on. Well, Earthquake just because I really didn't see any use in putting both like Giga Impact and Thrash in there. I mean, that makes no sense. Anyway, the next one would be Cresselia, Timid Nature, Odd Incense, and you guys probably think, why? Hang on. With Toxic and Moonlight, you guys know where that's going. Poison them, heal your own HP, double team when they don't attack you directly, boost it up. Oh yeah. And then Psychic, because you have to do damage at some point. If it's the last Pokemon left, you got to start doing damage. And the reason why it's not last is because if you get put in that situation where you're facing that dark Pokemon and there's no way in the world, like say you're facing a Skuntank, Poison and Dark, there's no way that you're going to be able to knock it out with Toxic or Psychic. It's impossible. All same goes for Stunky, though. Anyway, Metagross is your last one, and yes, it does have the Metagross height. It is a Jolly nature. Imagine that. And Power Up Punch, Earthquake, Ice Punch, there we go, and Iron Head. Now, I know it's not the greatest move lineup in the world, but basically Power Up Punch is there because Metagross has already got a added boost to its special defense and speed with the Mega Evolution. So there's really nothing much that you can really do. Just massively raise its HP and attack with the EVs and leave all your IVs up to chance, or do what I do and just the RNG the crap out of them, even though it's really difficult in 3DS games. Trust me, guys. Anyway, that's for those of you who are just interested in the Battle Mason. For those of you who are interested in the competitive play, from past instances and using basically what I can kind of figure from the X and Y era and the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire era, I'm basically putting compiled matches into 2 different categories and analyzing them differently. I've come to realization that Rain Dance is probably going to be your best bet, or a Sunny Day team. And the reason I say this is because Sunny Day team would be great. Only problem is you can only come to 4 Pokemon that you absolutely want to have. And those last 2 slots are going to leave to basically what's the metagame. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the Sunny Day team. Basically, a Bold Nature Ninetales with Big Root, Nasty Plot, Heat Wave, Pain Split, Giga Drain. Venusaur, Modest Nature, Venusaurite, Solar Beam, Worry Seed, Leech Seed, Protect. Darmanitan, this time Adamant with an Assault Vest. Of course, we're going to keep that on. And it's basically the same thing. The only reason we use Jolly and Single is because it's working as its own self. Like, if a Pokemon can go before it, like, say, see, what is a good example? Say a Starmie somehow pulls off a Surf before Darmanitan can even do anything, then that's pretty much a knockout right there. Because even with all that HP, Darmanitan is still going to get hit by weakness. Chances are Starmie is going to have either a Modest Nature or a Timid Nature, and is going to have stacked EVs in the special attack category. Which Starmie is not a bad Pokemon because, you know, everybody knows its ability in Rain Dance teams with Thunder and the Minimize and Recover ability, which is absolutely insane. But that's basically why we're just trying to bump it up with an attack, because we got to knock out stuff because people are starting to stall these days, from what I can figure. And the last one, I'm hoping to God that they create a Mega Evolution for this Pokemon, because it's got so much potential and it's clothable. And Impish Nature, Big Root, if you decide not to give it a Ninetales. And it's either going to be Big Root, or if they come out with a Mega for it the next game, that'd be great. But Big Root, but if Ninetales has Big Root, give it the Heat Stone or Heat Rock, or I forget what it's called. Anyway, basically just lengthen the amount of time that you can actually get it. So Belly Drum, Cosmic Power, Moon Blast, and then your choice of an attack. If you choose to go Big Root, you can go Drain Punch. If you choose not to do it, you can choose pretty much anything, like any fairy type move that would get Stab and everything. And those are the 2 left to chance. Of course, I'm going to have a lot of video game players who are probably going to be mad at me for saying clothable, but you guys know how much potential that Pokemon has. Don't even start to startle me with that one. Of course, I'd love to put Pikachu, you know. With a Light Ball, there's no way in heck Pikachu would be able to take no attacks. For the Rain Dance team, basically we have Politoed with the Impish Nature leftovers, Belly Drum, Waterfall, Ice Punch, Brick Break. That's pretty much standard, you know, except for the Belly Drum. Most people aren't too happy with seeing stuff like Belly Drum, but Politoed, if you raise him correctly, if you give him the correct stack of with the nature and the EVs, and you should easily be able to come out with a sort of a defensive Politoed, and Belly Drum should still stack its attack up high enough where it can do damage on turn 2 or turn 3, you know, without being KO'd. Your second Pokemon, Blastoise, Modest Nature, Blastoise Knight. I know, crazy. Surf, and these next 3 are awesome. Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse, Aura Sphere. And why is that? Because of the ability Mega Launcher. I freaking love this ability. Basically doing more damage to these pulse and sphere attacks. I absolutely love it. A Blastoise that's able to use a special type fighting attack that never fails. Wow. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. Then you got Toxicroak, which is another staple on almost every single Rain Dance team, with Adamant and a Damp Rock, which most people probably use anyway. And then I'm kind of on the fence between moveset, but I'm pretty sure that I've got it the way I want it. Swords Dance, Poison Jab, Drain Punch, Rock Slide. And Poison Jab's there for a reason. And I'll get to that later. Just keep that in mind. Poison Jab. Our next one's going to be Scizor, Careful Nature, Sizzlewrite. And its moveset is Swords Dance, Bug Bite, Bullet Punch, and Aerial Ace. Now remember this one for later. Aerial Ace. So Poison Jab and Aerial Ace. Poison type, Flying type. Now let's go to our next Pokemon, Ludicolo, Relax Nature, and Weakness Policy. Yep, that's right. Poison and Flying are its weaknesses. So naturally, I fit in 2 Pokemon who naturally fit in to the Rain Dance team and fit Ludicolo into the Weakness Policy portion. Give it Giga Drain and Drain Punch. Physical and special. Then Surf, you know, just for shoots and giggles, because Toxicroak would absolutely love to have its HP restored. And then Hidden Power Rock. Anyway, Ludicolo's only weaknesses are Poison and Flying, so it only makes sense that I put 2 Pokemon, Toxicroak with its ability, Dry Skin, only makes it a natural, restores 1/8 of its HP at the end of a turn in rainy conditions. Scizor, most people would try to choose Ferrothorn for some unknown reason, because it's still got weakness to both fire and fighting, where Scizor cuts down its 4x weakness to fire to 2, because fire only does 50% of its damage in rain conditions. So Scizor's only got 1 weakness to fire times 2. Then, with that Careful Nature, bumps up its special defense, lowers its special attack. Basically, you can tweak that however you want, pull up its HP all the way, you know, pull its attack up a little. That thing becomes a beast. One Swords Dance, you are not going to fall after a Swords Dance. It's literally impossible. Unless your opponent somehow pulls off their own, like, say, Belly Drum Flare Blitz combo, you know, which will never happen with the Darmanites. That thing's going to get knocked out with half HP. And the last one is kind of my own figure of how I believe that it should be run. And it's Gengar, with a Modest Nature and Gengarite. Now, Gengar has a base special attack of 170, which, as people know, as far as the Mega Gengar, not the regular Gengar. Regular Gengar's only got 130. Anyway, Gengar is going to have first attack, Thunder, obviously. Because it's a Rain Dance team, Thunder, base power, I believe they made it down to 110. It was 120 at one point. Giga Drain, obviously, if I can sap HP at a very high special attack, I will. Pain Split for those times where different Pokemon can't, take specific attacks. Like if say one Pokemon uses Disable or has a cursed body, and the one that I can hit is a ground type Pokemon, I'm gonna use Pain Split if I'm out of other attacks, because Gengar is basically going to stay in there until the battle's over. Gengar never switches out, because I've got something for every situation with Gengar. With Thunder, Giga Drain, Pain Split, Shadow Ball, there's absolutely no Protect on any of these Pokemon, pretty much except for their defenses. That's all that protects them. And the reason why is because I'm not choosing a defensive, I'm choosing a more offensive, but I'm bulking them up enough to where they can basically withstand attacks and be able to start one-hit KOing Pokemon. A lot of your players mess up, and a lot of your players love to use Protect, overuse Protect, which allows me to set up. I know this one guy, every battle he would go Protect, both Pokemon, turn 1. Even against a Raynet's team, at this point I had, I want to say Politoed Kingdra. He basically allowed me to Belly Drum, turn 1, and then I had the Citrus Berry, restored the HP. Next turn, guess what happens? Protect, Surf. 2 knockouts. Or not Surf. I'm sorry. Not thinking straight. Sorry, guys. No, it wasn't Surf. Anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. Basically, I destroyed both Pokemon at the same time, and I told him that Protect is definitely overqualified. I don't know where I got Surf from. I guess because I'm so used to Surf Politoed. And I decided to go with a more physical Politoed because of the different scenarios they can come up with where Politoed would best benefit as a physical attacker with enough bulk behind it. If you get its HP up high enough with 31 IVs and a level 50, I believe it's 197 would be its HP, with 252 IVs and 31, or 252 EVs and 31 IVs in HP. I believe it's a 197 HP. And his special attack, I want to say, starts at 100, or special defense starts at 120, and defense starts at 100. It might be 90 where its defense starts at. I'm not exactly sure. Anyway, that's why I'd pretty much just get an Impish Nature so I could bump up its defense just enough. Belly Drum takes care of the rest. So I decided, just go on a more defensive approach as far as the Pokemon stats go, and go on offensive with its attack. So I can basically take more hits, and if my opponents make that mistake of using Protect too often, I won the game. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Trading card game players, the next episode, if you were good enough to watch this, the next episode, I'll basically talk about the Ancient Origins set and a little bit more about why I believe that a lot of stuff have been taken out of our current format and pretty much been just replaced with this next set, because I believe it's a little broken, but that's okay. It's nothing like what we experienced before. So anyway, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Post any comments you have in the comment section down below. If they're approved, I'll post them. And as always, I hope you guys had as much fun as I've had. And I'll see you guys next time at Shifty's Club.